After rebuilding a ghost town in 12 months, I had a new challenge: to rebuild an abandoned neighborhood. This wasn't going to be any regular neighborhood though. These were going to be gated, lakefront properties with a view. So I made a few phone calls and got to work. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. Year number 2 here in the woods is starting off a lot like year number 1 did, and that's because I don't have very much money at all. Getting the proper permits to rebuild this abandoned community over here was quite expensive. And after finding what I did inside, I decided that I wasn't going to rebuild these. I'm just going to go ahead and tear them all down. Now, turning these rundown pieces of property into a true waterfront community is going to take a lot of money. But I had a plan. And that plan started with selling all of my ownership shares in all of these communities over here we just built. With all that money, I went ahead and bought some equipment. I got an excavator, I got a dump truck, I got a couple other pieces of equipment that are going to help me make some roads over here as well. But before I can tear down the houses, I've got to make sure the workers are taking care of the farm. And the first job they have today is turning this area right here into a really nice grass field. The workers and I got this little bit of an agreement where they don't show up till 8 o'clock in the morning, and then I kind of keep them a little bit later in the afternoon. So I'm going to go ahead and do the outline here of this field, and then they're going to take care of the middle when they get here. And it seems like the worker and I didn't get all of the trees picked up last month whenever we were clearing this area out, so I got to get these out of the way or we're going to break something. Lucky for the worker, I had enough time this morning to go ahead and get this thing entirely plowed out. Oh, it's right at 8 o'clock, and the worker should be here any minute. And the worker's getting to do his favorite job. Yep, he's rock picking in the Massey Ferguson. I probably should have given the worker the case here because I've got to take this grain back here to the chickens. All right, the chickens are fed. Now let's go take care of those buildings. Nope, scratch that. I got to take care of the weeds here in the oat field first. Worker called on the radio and said, "Hey boss, I'm done with the rocks." Well, it's good news because I'm done over here with the weeds as well. Now we're going to switch over and put down some lime. I'm really starting to think this is the worker's second favorite job. And while the worker's taking care of the lime over there, I might as well go ahead and put a little bit of fertilizer here on this field. These oats sure are liking their fertilizer. Had to get the truck out to be able to get a little bit more in here. Now if I could only remember where I stopped at. I got the oats fertilized and decided to come over here and talk to the worker a little bit. They said they were having a problem with the seeder. I mean, this thing is a little bit old, so it's not surprising if it's having any issues. Yeah, I don't think that's supposed to look like that. Guess I'm gonna have to give the old man in the dealership a call and see if he's got any spare parts. Unfortunately, the old man didn't have any spare parts, but he did have a spare seeder. Now, after I got the other part traded in with the damage and everything on it, lost a little bit of money, but this one was only 22,000. And this seeder here looks like it is doing absolutely perfect, no problems at all. I'm kind of glad we upgraded. Not bad, not bad. In a little bit under 3 hours, we were able to get the field completely done and seeded for grass. Now it's time to go tear down some houses. Yep, it hurts me just as much, if not more, than it hurts you to see this house torn down. I mean, I spent quite a bit of money on these pieces of property to be able to refurbish them, but in the long run, having a lot bigger house here is going to pay off a lot more. Now to just figure out the controls on this thing, and I think I'll be able to go ahead and start getting these ripped out. And I think I'm going to start right up here. Well, that's house number 1 down on the ground. Now it's time to go ahead and start filling up my dump truck. It took a little bit longer than expected to get all the concrete and debris loaded up in the truck and hauled off, but it is done. Now I've just got 3 more to do here over the next couple days. It's now September here in the woods, and I got all the abandoned houses torn down last month. But before I can start building the new ones, I got to make some money. But the first thing on the schedule today is taking some hay bales over to the sheep. They may not look like they're hungry, but they sure are loud right now. And I'm going to go ahead and leave those right there to make the next feeding a little bit easier. Like I said a while ago, I got all the houses torn down and the debris hauled away, except for a couple cars. I'm going to go and use the excavator here, load these things up onto my flatbed, and haul them off to the scrapyard. Wow, that was easier than I thought. Time to haul them off to the scrapyard now. I made a little bit over 550 bucks on these scrap. Now it's time to use one of these brand new tools to go over to a new piece of property because I've got a brand new business venture. You see, what had happened was whenever I bought all of this new equipment, I also bought a new piece of property back here in the back because I wanted to expand out the fields just a little bit more. Well, it turns out hidden somewhere back in these woods is an old rock quarry. And that means that I get to go on a hunt back here while creating a brand new road. Well, what do you know? I found it. Now, this place back here, I had no idea this big of a structure was back here, but I was coming around at this other side over here making the road, and I was like, hey, I wonder if there's anything here on the back side of this. And yeah, lo and behold, there is a nice little sunk down pit right here, and there's even some gravel already coming out of this thing. I guess all I gotta do now is get a bucket for the front loader and I can start a gravel delivery business. Just got off the phone with the old man of the dealership asking how much buckets were. He said, well, it kind of depends on which one you want. So just to be safe, I'm going to take the truck down here to the town and go ahead and sell some logs. And the workers showed up as well this morning right at 8 o'clock. They're out putting some fertilizer here on the brand new grass. And once they're done with that, they're going to take down that fence back there along the property line. Remember how I said last month that I sold all of the businesses? Well, this isn't technically a business. It's a warehouse where I'm storing all of my logs. And I'm going to have one of the workers go ahead and load up the trailer here. And then I'll drive around to all the different facilities. And if I have anything left over, then I'll probably take it to the other sawmill. I mean, he didn't do too bad of a job. Probably a lot better than I could have done. It's starting to rain now, so I'm going to have to hurry and get this wood sold. I got all the wood sold, but I didn't get near as much as what I did in the past. I've only got $79,000. Hopefully that's enough to get this gravel operation off the ground. Well, the old man here at the dealership has 3 buckets and no way to load them, so I think I need to go ahead and go pick up the wheel loader. I believe he said the one here on the end is the one that's originally supposed to go with this, but I like this Volvo one a little bit better. I don't know, we're going to try it out, but I might have to come back and get this high lift right here. Just had a little conversation with the worker. Apparently he was texting while driving the tractor and took out some of the crops. I decided to go ahead and send him over to get the dump truck, and I'm going to go ahead and see if I can pick up this pile of rocks right here. So the bucket seems to be doing okay. Doesn't seem like there's too much weight up there on the front to lift off the rear tires. See if we can get over the edge. Oh, yeah. All right, so I got that pile picked up. Now time to go fill up this thing for the quarry in the back. So I made a bit of a mess, but I got the dump truck full. I'll see if I can get up the hill. Yep, no problem at all. No problem at all. Looks like I need to make the road a little bit wider here, though. And it looks like the first customer of my brand new gravel delivery business is going to be the sawmill. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of a driveway around the back area here so it doesn't get as sloppy when it's raining like this. All right, just going to raise up the bed and go ahead and get going here. Level this out a little bit, and then I'll come back with my grader and flatten it out. So it takes a little bit of getting used to, but I don't think I did such a bad job. Now I just need to go ahead and go grab that second load and see if I can't finish this off back here. Yeah, I think I got a little bit too much weight on the front end once I start going up a hill backwards, so I'm gonna have to be careful and maybe take a little bit of this out a little bit farther. Well, it's going down okay right now, but the rain is making it very difficult to be precise with this, so I'm gonna hold off until the rain is done, and I don't think if this facility is gonna have any other customers today. I really don't know if we could have got this any smoother. The rain actually really helped out. It softened up the dirt enough that we could actually get the gravel down. Now, there are a few little spots here that I'm going to have to hit again, but for the most part, this is really, really good. I just got off the phone with a representative from the council, and they're asking if I could actually go ahead and put in a gravel road right here in front of all these brand new businesses. I don't think it's going to be a problem as long as I can get a little bit of help from one of the workers. And I'm really starting to wonder if the old man down here at the dealership is actually a relative of somebody there on the council, because he gave me a call and said, hey man, I got a couple things you need. Bring one of your tractors and your flatbed. Yeah, no way. This is just a coincidence. He found a steam roller thing for me. Apparently this is going to help level out the gravel just a little bit more, even when it's not raining. This is going to be able to help me out. It's in pretty rough shape here. Says he wants $25,000 for it. Now, from what I understand, that is a incredible deal. And he also said that since I'm going to be taking care of some of the weeds and stuff, probably got to get a little bit different mower than the one that I'm using on the farm. I don't know why, but I'm going to go ahead and buy this too. Fired up the steamroller here, and it appears that it's working okay. I'm going to go ahead and try and get it up here onto the trailer. We'll get it over there and see if that won't help us out. I mean, it's got plenty of track. Ooh, okay. All right, we are good. I got it all loaded up, but I'm going to go ahead and leave it here because the tractor is calling my name with the new mower. I'm going to go up to the main area and go ahead and start cleaning up some of this little weeds and stuff because I don't want that growing back up through the rocks. I guess I'm going to start right here in the corner and go ahead and just make my way all the way around until I get back over here to this area. The reason I'm doing this is because, like I said, I really don't want any of this grass to grow back up through the rocks. I mean, I'm going to spend quite a bit of time. They're going to spend a little bit of money. Oh yeah, by the way, they're paying me for this job too. It's not just me out here like giving away everything. No, they're going to pay me like based on how many businesses I get covered in a road to. So I'm gonna do a great job here, and then hopefully we'll be able to use some of that money to help start on building the houses. I got a pretty good area cleared out here with the mower. So now what I'm going to do is have the workers start bringing down truckloads of gravel, and I'm going to use the leveler to get it all spread around here and hopefully be able to make something that looks something like a road. Well, the workers already laid down about 3 different truckloads here of the gravel. They put it in a pretty narrow spot here. Gonna have the road go across over this way, and then it's gonna go over that way as well. And then I'll probably do a little bit of a loop just so people have somewhere to drive around and they're not just going back and forth on the same piece. All right, so I got the leveler set, I think pretty good. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start going forward, and let's see if this smooths it out a little bit. I mean, it's keeping it a little bit high. Maybe I should try and lower it down a little bit more. Not too bad, not too bad. I still think I can get a little bit more height out of it, and then we'll come in with the roller. Yep, that's looking a lot better. I'm really starting to get the hang of this thing now. Yeah, I spoke a little bit too soon there. I don't know what happened here. This thing is gonna work. This is gonna compact all of these rocks down into the soil, and we're not gonna have any issues. I'm gonna keep going between this and the grader to kind of get this all leveled out. And I'm gonna have the worker keep bringing in more and more truckloads here, because I got a feeling I could probably get this road done this month. It's October again here in the woods, and that means that it's time to start cutting down some trees, because I need quite a few trees to build all these brand new houses. Having this rock quarry here on the property is bringing in a really good income with doing all of the gravel roads and everything for the town. But I'm going to start taking down some of these trees right here, because I'm going to expand out this field just a little bit more, and I might as well use the trees for the new houses. And while I'm heading back this way, I'm going to try and scout out a little bit different path for my road here, because I've got a little bit of a situation where if I start bringing some bigger equipment back here to the other part of the property, I am going to have to take out a lot of trees. So I'm kind of thinking that I'm going to probably cut around right in through here somewhere, go right along the edge of this field right here, and make this my permanent road. And a big reason is because I've got this rock right here, and I really want to stay away from it with the harvester. So I figure if I just kind of come right through this area with my road, and then when I get past this rock, then I'll turn. What I'm going to do is go ahead and take down all the trees over here on this side of the property from the rock to my right, because those are all coming out. I need the field to be made, and I need all of these trees. I might leave some of these right here just to be a little bit of a break or something like that. I don't know exactly what. I mean, I don't have big, massive equipment coming through here. I think the dump truck's going to be okay getting through this little bit of a road right here. And if we do anything with another field, it's going to be over here. So as long as that road can get to right here with a big opening and enough pathway to be able to get some wider headers through here, I think I'll be okay. I'm making pretty good progress here, being a one-man show. Like I said, the workers show up at 8. So as soon as they do, we're going to have them start loading up all of the logs here onto the trailer. And we'll go take it to the sawmill, because I've got a deal worked out with them. So the worker got here right about 8 o'clock, and we went ahead and started loading up all of the logs. As you can see, I've got a full load right there. That means that I was able to go ahead and get the print off and start taking care of all the stumps. Now I'm going to have to slow down here in town and actually use the gravel now, because last month I was able to get all of the gravel put down. I've got quite a good little system here, and they don't want me to tear it up with my rig. We got all of the wood delivered here to the sawmill, and the owner said that they were going to go ahead and start cutting it up, but I am more than welcome to go ahead and start taking some of these other pallets right here. Now I need to get a little bit more area cleared off of the farm. That way I can make that field, but then after that, we're going to start moving some of these pallets over to the construction site. I know it may not look like much, but we got the whole area cleared off here. We ended up leaving a couple trees over by the rock quarry, and now the worker is going to come over here and start making this into a field. Now, I trust them that they're not going to get too close to the crops right here. They should be ready to harvest next month, and then after we get done with that, this field will be ready as well, and then we can plant this whole area into one much bigger field of a completely different crop. And that means that now I get to hook up the flatbed here to the truck and then head into town and pick up some pallets. I hate to keep spending money because we got to put a lot of money into these houses, but I needed a skid steer here to be able to actually move these pallets around. Yep, these 2 pallets right here are exactly what I'm looking for. Hopefully we'll get some more of these over here in the next couple days, and then we'll be able to really start putting up some framework. I had to get a little bit creative here, putting these pallets up here with the skid steer, but I think it's gonna make it through the woods okay. Hope DOT's not around anywhere. I had to make my way around a few trees and it got a little bit sketchy, but we got the pallets delivered and now I'm ready to go ahead and start marking out exactly where these properties are going to be at. The current property line is just a little bit past the edge of that water right there, but I think I'm going to probably start right about here and work my way all the way around that way, maybe doing about 5 different pieces of property here as really premium waterfront pieces of property. And the way I'm going to mark off the properties is using these poles right here. I'm going to just drive them down into the ground, and then I'm going to go back to the back, mark that corner there, go down over here, mark another spot, and just keep going all the way around. And we're going to run some temporary fencing between each one of these. That way I can tell exactly where the properties are. So when I start doing landscaping and things like that, then it's going to be a lot easier for me because I'm doing all this myself. I don't have any subcontractors. Well, I got all 5 areas marked off. This really nice fence right here. We had this left over from the farm when we set up that area over there. Now all I have to do is try and figure out exactly where my roads are going to be. What do you guys think of my entryway right here? I went ahead and started making a little bit of a road. It's going to be at least 2 lanes wide, if not maybe 3, because I want these vehicles to have plenty of room while they're navigating around this neighborhood. I don't want anybody getting any vehicles damaged or anything like that, so we're gonna go ahead and make it plenty wide, but I'm gonna go ahead and put maybe some type of entryway right here between these 2 trees. I'm hoping to be able to keep that tree, but other trees are definitely gonna have to come down. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark these, that way I know exactly which ones that I need to come back and take down with my tree harvester. I was able to make 3 passes here while trying to figure out exactly where this road was going to go at. I think I did a pretty good job, and I went ahead and marked a bunch of the trees, made a loop down here at the end as well. That way all of the heavier duty equipment that's going to be bringing in supplies and then just building this area is going to have somewhere to turn around, and it's a nice little cul-de-sac here at the end of the property as well. I was getting ready to leave, and I remembered that I needed to go over this way as well because I do have a piece of property right here on the corner. So we went ahead and made the path over this way as well. Got all of the trees marked. And I think whenever I get down here, I'm actually going to be able to extend this piece of property out just a little bit more because I'm going to go ahead and put a road around over this way because that piece of property down there at the end of the water, yeah, I own that too right now. I was hoping to have some trees cut by now. It's a little bit after 5:30, but the wheel loader here gave us a little bit of an issue. Had to go get some hydraulics repaired on it, and I'm thinking I might want to go ahead and upgrade. Give the old man a call while I was over at the other shop, and he said that he could probably have one here next month. It's November here in the woods, and that means that it's time to go ahead and get some harvesting done. It also means that I've got to put a little bit of a hold on building the houses until I can get all that accomplished. And the first thing I got to do today is go ahead and take all of these logs over to the sawmill or whoever else is going to buy them and get them sold because I've got a new piece of equipment over at the dealership that I've got to go pick up. They said to keep them coming as long as I got them, but I don't have the time right now to be able to do that. I mean, maybe I could hire a worker to help out with that, but I've got to get over to the farm and pick up a piece of equipment to get it sold. I hate to see it go, but it's time to say goodbye here to the white harvester. It's just a little bit too small for what we've got going on here now. I know I've only got 3 fields, but I need to be able to get these done quickly. That way I can get back to cutting down some trees like a glove. And now it's time to get this over to the dealership, see how much the old man is going to give me for it, and then pick up the new one. The old man came out here, turned it on. He's letting it run for a little bit, but he said as of right now, he can give me a little bit over $39,000 for it. I think that's a pretty good deal because this bad boy right here is a little bit more expensive than that. He said that this one here is 115. So I definitely need every penny out of that one to be able to get this awesome case 4150 right here. You can see it's got a little bit of wear and tear on it. It's not the newest model available right now. The Draper header, it's quite a bit bigger and it's going to allow us to get the fields done that much faster. Oh man, is it purring like a kitten right now? The problem is this thing doesn't have its own trailer system and I don't have a trailer with it, but I do have a flatbed that I brought the other one over. So I'm going to go ahead and load it up on there and then get this over to the farm and I'll show you guys exactly what we're doing today. It barely fits, but if it fits, it ships. I'll give you guys a little tour here while I'm waiting on the worker to show up with the header. So we've got a field over here of oats that we're going to have to go ahead and get harvested first, because then one of my workers can go back there and finish plowing the fields together. We can get the field area separated off from where the road's going to be at back there as well in the corner. And then I've got this field right here. Now, I believe this is my barley field that is going to go to help feed all of my chickens. You know what? I'm not going to be doing the harvesting over there in that field today. I'm going to go ahead and let the workers take care of the harvesting and all of the running the grain over to the silo. And I'm going to go ahead and take care of this right here. And the reason for that is because I need to go ahead and make sure that we are not messing up anything. I may have had a couple workers that may have accidentally damaged some equipment, and I don't need any downtime right now. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to get this taken care of. We're going to throw a little bit of lime in here, and then we should be good. We should be good. Not going to have any problems today. It's going to be a great day. I never thought I would see that in my lifetime here on this farm, but the two workers are actually working in tandem together, and they're not tearing anything up. I hope this ends well. Now that I'm done with plowing, I'm going to go ahead and pick up all of these rocks that are in here, because we're going to take these and help pave some roads. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and turn all of my roads here into gravel, because there's not really a big demand anywhere else right now. So I'm going to go ahead and just take what's coming out of that quarry that we've got back there and just use it for my own benefit right now. You know what, it looked like they were having so much fun over there. I just decided to go ahead and stay over here, get out the lime spreader, and go ahead and put a little bit here on this brand new field. I went ahead and asked worker number 1 if they could start working over there in the grass field, taking care of it and getting it all mowed up, while I go ahead and do some baling right here. Now, the reason I'm doing the baling is because I need a little bit of room over on the far edge while I'm trying to figure out how we're exactly going to put a road in over there, I guess you could say. So just gonna go ahead and get a few bales here out of the way around the outside edges, and then I'll come back here a little bit later today and get the rest of these made. I was having a little bit of problem picking up the straw with all these bales laying down here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pick them all up, because it just makes a lot of sense to go ahead and get these out of the way, and then I will be able to go ahead and make more without running any of these over. The workers are doing pretty good over here in the barley field. We've already unloaded one trailer completely full of barley into the silo. Believe we're going to be pretty close to having a completely full second one as well. Yep, I was right. Completely full here for trailer number 2. I've got the worker out there finishing up making all the bales in that field. And I'm going to go ahead and take this barley back to our chickens, because they are very, very hungry. We had a bunch of little babies hatch not here too long ago. So I'm going to go back here, feed them a little bit of this barley, and then the rest of it's going to go in the silo for future feedings. Hey, would you look at that? The worker over there in the grass field is done with the tedder, and now they're getting out the windrower, while I'm going to go over here and finish grabbing the rest of these bales. I don't know how it happened, but I got 160 bales off of that other field over here now, and I've got a feeling that there's going to be quite a few more than that over here. Went ahead and unloaded the stack of 195 bales into our storage facility, and I asked the worker, hey, what is the counter on the baler said? And it was 368. 368 bales of straw only. We still got that whole grass field too. Ain't that a pretty sight right there? The bale counter was correct. 368 straw bales added here to storage. I don't know what I'm going to do with them right now. We don't have any animals that need straw. We might sell them. I don't know. Maybe we will build a fort or something like that. This right here, this isn't really a pretty sight, because we need to get some crops in the ground. I'm going to be putting corn back here, and I'm probably going to go ahead and put some more barley up there. I mean, I guess I should do a rotation and put the barley here and the corn there. So I got to get that road figured out, though. I just noticed we got a little bit of rain maybe coming in here this afternoon, so I'm going to go ahead and leave the two workers here in this field taking care of getting this all tedded up, or windrowed up, and then baled up as well. I'm running up to the dealership here to pick up a couple of new pieces of equipment. I didn't even have to haggle with the old man. He gave me a really good deal on this planter and this roller right here. Now, the roller is going to come in really handy when I need to make these roads, because all that loose dirt and everything, I found out that it's not the best idea to put gravel on top of that. So we're going to go ahead and just roll it first, make it really, really flat, hard packed, and then we'll put the gravel on top of that. This planter right here, this is going to complement our seeder absolutely perfectly well. It's going to take the same amount of horsepower, so I'm not going to have to get a bigger tractor right away. I got a call from the worker in the windrower over there, and he said, "Hey boss, can you come pick up some bales, because I keep running them over here on the ends and we're making pretty good progress. It's just, I got to keep moving them." So here I am, not picking up any of the equipment. We're going to send a worker back over a little bit later with the tractors, go pick that stuff up. And I'm going to start picking up these, like, I don't know, like 300 plus bales we got here. So the workers got done, and I decided to go and have them switch over the baler to the smaller piece of equipment, because we've got a little bit of stray hay out here that we're going to have to pick up. The other worker is going to go ahead and take the bigger tractor, and they are actually going to go pick up the roller, and then we're going to use the massive probably to go pick up the planter, because I think that's going to be actually the tractor that's going to be doing the planting and the seeding for us. That's going to be the workhorse here on the farm. Sure looks like this worker is trying to get everything done so they can have an early day today. I mean, hopefully we can get both of these fields planted. Gonna get the grass taken care of a little bit more as well. And I'm gonna go ahead and finish putting all these bales here. I still got a few more. We got like 195 here. I don't think it's 300, but we're pretty close. Now, I'm not gonna lie, they did a pretty good job at making all these bales. We ended up having to go back and just pick up a little bit more of the hay. Wasn't a lot. I don't even know if we made like 6 or 7 bales out of it, but that's 6 or 7 bales more that's gonna go to feed my sheep. All right, let's see if this new roller is gonna work. I'm gonna go ahead and just roll across here. I mean, it's pulling pretty easy. I think it's gonna take a couple passes though to get the shape and the color that I'm looking for. Yep, that'll do the trick for now. Now I can have the worker go ahead and start spreading all of the corn seed here into the ground. And I'm just going to let this kind of naturally grow back. The grass and everything over here. Once I get into a little bit of time, we'll come back and put a little bit of gravel here. We'll connect that down into over here. I should have enough room between these two big boulders right here to get every piece of equipment that I need to. And I kind of got ahead of myself a little bit here, because I completely forgot that we have to cultivate this field and then pick up the rocks. So that's what I've got going on right now. Worker is over there in the beautiful older case. Gonna go ahead and cultivate it up, get the rock picker out here, get some more gravel for our roads. Then I'll be able to put some corn in the ground. Almost made it all the way through without having to refill, but it's a quick and easy stop right here, and then the worker's gonna get right back to it. You know, and I figured since I was close by, I might as well go ahead and start filling up the truck here, because I've got a road that I gotta make. I want to go ahead and get all of this gravel before the weather gets too bad. And you know, it's pretty difficult to keep a tractor going when it doesn't have any diesel in it, so I gotta go out here and give a little bit of diesel to the worker. All right, he should be able to finish this field, no problem now. Yeah, I messed up pretty good here. I didn't cut the grass before I put down all the gravel, and now it's all sticking up through it. So I'm gonna have to maybe scrape it all off, or get a really good weed killer over here. Looks like we're gonna be able to get all the seed in the ground before the rain gets here. You know what I'm thinking? As much as I really want to get those houses done, I really don't have a need to get them done like right now. So I'm going to go ahead and focus here on the road for the rest of this month. It's a wonderful 80 degrees here in December in the woods, and that means that it's time to go ahead and do a little bit more harvesting. As you guys can see, I got all of the road done all the way around here, and now it's time to make a little bit more money, because I got some houses we got to buy. Just had a chat with a worker. They're going to go ahead and help out the combine here while I go ahead and start moving some of this equipment over to the other area. And by other area, I mean where the houses are going to be built at. I'm going to be putting in a little bit of road over there as well. But the first thing I got to do is get some trees cut down. Just got done filling up the tank here on the roller, and now I'm heading over to where the houses are going to be built at. Now, like I said, I don't have a whole lot of money right now, so I'm going to be able to cut down a bunch of those trees to be able to even afford down payments. Now I might go at, what is this area that someone is mowed? I mean, did we have an errant lawnmower accident over here? Or is there something up here? I mean, if it was somebody on a lawnmower that had no idea what they were doing, they did a pretty good job of missing mostly everything. I mean, it doesn't look like they hit any big trees. What in the world is this thing? I mean, this is the middle of the woods. I don't see anything else around. Maybe some buildings over there. We might not be that far off the main path right here. I got all of the equipment moved over to the new area where the houses are going at, and now I'm back over here hopping in a tractor and hauling some grain. We've got 3 workers here on the farm now because the backfield back there is getting a little bit of herbicide because these weeds, they're getting a little bit tall, and we need to go ahead and take care of that. Got the field taken care of here, at least for harvesting, and now the worker in the back is hollering at me saying, boss, I need some herbicide. I'm going to go ahead and throw this harvester where it belongs. Hopefully that worker can figure out how to get past the bale to finish dumping all of that here in the silo. We're going to keep banking bales, and I'm probably going to have to take the flatbed and go pick up a pallet of herbicide. See, the really cool thing about having this road done is I can actually drive back here a little bit closer to the equipment, so now they don't have to drive as far through the field and lose their place where they actually were. The worker was able to make another 195 bales. That is an incredible amount off of these 4 fields. Yes, I'm including the grass because it technically had to get baled as well. You know, I wasn't going to question the worker, but I am kind of wondering how we ended up with the exact same number of bales as how many I can fit on this machine here. I got all 195 bales, and this thing, it's getting a little bit, I don't know, like cumbersome to use. I think it's going to be time very, very soon to go ahead and upgrade to a different baler. The problem is I don't really have very many crops that I need to actually bale up. I mean, we're going to have corn up there, which isn't going to need it. I'm going to have grass and silage. Maybe I could make that as well. And then we've got this right here, which is probably going to need, this is barley. So yeah, we're going to need a baler for that. And what am I putting in that field there? I mean, I could soybeans, sunflowers. I could put a little bit more oats. I also decided to go ahead and put a worker back there in this field taking care of the fertilization because the barley needs just a little bit. And we're going to go ahead and put a little bit here in the corn as well. And I've got this worker. They went ahead and, well, they didn't decide. I decided we were going to go ahead and put some sunflowers in here. Yeah, I don't know why. It seems like a very interesting crop, and I'm trying to diversify a little bit more. Give the community, the town up there that I rebuilt, give them a few more options on some ingredients for their recipes. I'm gonna go back here and take a look at the animals and see if they need any food or see if I need to actually sell some of these guys. And just when I thought I was gonna be able to take it easy, the worker out here in the new sunflower field let me know that they're out of seeds. So I'm gonna go out here, fill it up, and that worker there is now on to field number 2 with the fertilizer. As soon as they're done with that, we'll get on to 3. And then finally, it'll be time to cut down some trees. Worker got done doing the fertilizing, so that means that everything here on the farm is done for this month. That doesn't mean that I can go cut down some trees yet because I had a person stop by and ask if I could help build a road. So this pathway right here that goes back to the old building, well, apparently it's a grain mill, and apparently it's been here for a very, very long time, but it hasn't been used in forever because when the town went belly up, then so did the grain mills. There was nobody here any grain or anything, but now that there's somebody here with grain, somebody offered to go ahead and process my grain through it. So maybe they're going to make some flour. It's going to give me an opportunity to sell some of my product over here, the stuff that I'm not going to use on the farm. And they said that they'd pay me $2,500 if I put in a gravel road from here back to there, following this path that they cut. $2,500 is $2,500. Went ahead and cleared out a little bit of area over here as well because they said this is where they're going to kind of help load up all of the vehicles and things. Got a nice area right there cleared out. Got a little bit of a road going around over here as well to make it so that you don't have only one way in and one way out. I mean, once you get past here at least. They said it's going to take a little while to get it all cleaned up and get everything ironed out before they're going to be willing to accept any of the grain. It's going to give me enough time to maybe get this stuff dried down a little bit more, but and they got a lot of work to do here. Hopefully it'll be ready next month. Now that I've got the basic pathway made, I'm going to go ahead and start rolling this thing out a little bit to hopefully compact it. That way I'm not going to have any of this grass grow back up whenever we put the gravel down here on the road. I've got a pretty good level here, so now I think it's time to go ahead and start laying down some gravel. Got a pretty good base layer going on here. I'm getting a lot better at laying this down without having too many big piles or too many gaps and keeping it right here in the middle. So I'm going to go ahead and get the roller out and the leveler, try and get it all taken care of. I'm getting kind of hungry too, so I might go grab some lunch. Well, I went and grabbed lunch up at the local diner, and while I was there, I ran into the mayor who wanted to go ahead and talk to me about a few other projects. And when I got back, the workers were done. Yeah, they were hustling, got everything leveled out here, got it all compacted down. So This road is ready for use, and as soon as we get notified that the grain mill is going to be up and running, then we can bring some stuff over here. Now it's time to cut down some trees. Before I can bring the rest of the equipment over here and start making my road, I need to cut down a bunch of these trees, and I'm only going to cut down the ones with the blue X's on them because those are the ones that I've already got predetermined, and I want to leave as many as I can here in the area. I'm going to go ahead and head down this way first because I'm not really sure if I'm going to do anything with that right away, but I definitely need to go ahead and get down here because all the big equipment and everything, we got to have a way to be able to turn around. I'm also trying to leave as little stump as possible because whenever I start bringing all the other equipment through here, including the semi to load this up, I don't need a whole bunch of stumps here kind of in the way, getting the truck all stuck. Learned my lesson the last time. I'm actually making pretty good time. I've only been going at this maybe about 20 minutes, and I'm already down here at the turnaround area. So we got a lot of trees on the ground. Now guess I'm gonna have to call a worker and see if they can help me go ahead and start picking all these up. Well, I got the turnaround done. Now it's time to go back down here to the beginning and see if I need to clear out just a little bit more of that driveway and then go ahead and start loading these things up. I've got the worker bringing the semi and the front loader over. Hopefully they can get here quick. It's a little bit of a tight fit down here, but I think it's going to work out perfectly fine. We've got quite a few logs here in the beginning part of this that I need to go ahead and get taken over to the sawmill because there's two reasons I'm taking out the trees. First off was to go ahead and make the path, and the second is I need to make some money. I've got to pay guys to be able to actually do the contracting work on this because I'm not going to have enough time. We got the farm going on now, so yeah, I'm going to contract all of this out. They've got a lot better idea of knowing exactly what they got to do, so I'm just going to be cutting down a bunch of trees, making room for them, and then we're going to get back to farming. I've got the first load of logs out of the community area here up on the trailer, and now it's time to go ahead and take these over to, I believe, the sawmill. I'm going to try and take everything that I can over there without having to put anything into my own personal storage because I need to make as much money as possible right now. I ended up making a little bit under $40,000, and that's a pretty good dent, but I'm going to need quite a bit more because I got a feeling I'm going to have to pay over $100,000 for these houses. Well, it's right at the end of the day here for the sawmill workers, so I'm going to go ahead and see if I can't get these unloaded before they all take off. They weren't super happy with me, but they went ahead and took the load anyway, so that means that we got 4 loads, almost completely 4 loads, over there at the sawmill today. I'm sitting about $200,000. Pretty sure the first house that I want is only about 125. Even if I need a little bit more money, I'm pretty sure I can go ahead and take all of these logs over there as well. All of my workers have headed home for the day, so I got to finish up this road a little bit solo. I don't think I'm going to do too much today. Just go ahead and get a little bit of compaction going on, get all the weeds and everything there out of it. Then probably next month, we're going to go ahead and start putting in some gravel. It's now January here in the woods. That means that it's time to stop worrying about the houses and start focusing on our farm again. Got a bunch of stuff that needs to get taken care of today, including field work and selling some products that we've got from the animals. But before we can do any of that, we've got to actually make sure the animals are fed. We got some grass bales we're going to be giving to the sheep, and I've got a bunch of barley here in the trailer that I'm going to go ahead and feed the chickens. I got the silo topped up, and now it's time to go ahead and load up all of these pallets of eggs right here. Going to take them into town. We got a couple restaurants. They're going to go ahead and buy them. I got all of the eggs loaded up here on the trailer, and I noticed that the wool was getting a little bit full as well, so I think I'm going to go ahead and take that in to the spinnery, as we always need some more wool in there so they can make some awesome local clothes. Well, that's another really big reason why I wanted to make this chicken coop right here, is so we could provide local to the area so that we're not having to outsource from other parts of the area. I don't quite have enough room to get all of the pallets, so I'm only going to be able to take 9 out of the 10 that were up here. I mean, we should do pretty good still. I mean, this one right here, it's not quite full anyway, so it's going to be all right. Ended up making about $40,000 there on the wool and the eggs. The spinnery said they're going to keep them busy for quite a while, and the restaurant over here said that's going to feed quite a few people. Paul's over here checking on the warehouse that we've got for all the logs. I got a call, and it's my contractors. They said that they were having a little bit of an issue getting some of the materials down to the work site. I'm going to load up some of the materials here on the flatbed and take it down there so they can start building the houses. Man, this contractor has really loaded up the sawmill here with a lot of different things. We got a lot of pre-fabbed walls. We got a lot of OBS plywood. We got some planks. We got a bunch of nails. Got some shingles. Got some floor tiles, staircase railing. I mean, just really everything and anything is coming into this area right here. I guess they're using this as their center hub of operation. They said they were having difficulties getting enough workers to operate the trucks over there. So we really need to get working on this community. The neighborhood part, that way we can get more workers here. Wow, looks like they're really starting to make some pretty good progress. Got a vehicle moved in here. I guess they got all their tools there. Already got some other wood. Looks like they're about ready to start pouring some foundations. This is the first area that we got. We got another one over there where kind of one of the other houses was already at. We decided to put another house there. Went in and paid 125,000 for this guy to put in 2 houses for me. Thinking with a little bit more profit, I could probably go ahead and get a third one on order too. Now that all these materials are delivered, it's time to get back over to the fields and take care of some spraying. I've got the worker out in the field taking care of these weeds. Now, I know I should have got to these a little bit sooner, but I was really busy trying to get that road and everything done over there on those houses. While the worker takes care of fertilizing a couple fields, I'm going to load up the trailer here with a bunch of grain and take it over to the grain mill we just helped set up. Got the worker over here taking care of field number 2, and I am now on to the sorghum. We made pretty good money there on all the wheat, and I've still got a little bit of oats in the silo as well. I'm gonna go pick up some fertilizer because the worker up there ahead said that they were out and we are just about done with the field. So I'm gonna let them take that over to the grain mill, and I'm gonna go pick up some fertilizer here at a brand new spot that we've got in town. I don't know how these guys do it, but they are able to build these state-of-the-art facilities in no time at all. I mean, I guess when there's a lot of money behind things get done quickly. What we've got right here is a state-of-the-art farm supply production area. I could maybe bring some stuff over, let them make things for me, but I think right now I'm just going to go ahead and load up the trailer with a little bit more fertilizer. We got the fertilizer spreader loaded up again, and I am now taking the last load of oats over here to the grain mill. Like I said, we made some pretty good money. Hopefully, I can get a little bit over 200,000 by the time that we are done here with this load. So the oats weren't worth as much as I thought they were. We ended up with about 183,000 total. I mean, that's pretty good. I'm probably going to spend more of that because I got to get 2 more houses under contract. Well, it's almost 1 o'clock. The worker is finished, and I believe that I am finished for today as well. Not going to be cutting down any more trees, anything like that. Got the contractor over there taking care of the houses. Got a problem though. I gotta go talk to the bank. I just got back from talking to the bank, and they gave me a little bit of money to be able to help finance the rest of the houses. Now I need to go ahead and go talk to the contractor, and I'm gonna spend about $235,000 getting all of those started. He said they should be done in about 2 months. And there's a lot of other work that needs to happen too. A lot of landscaping, a lot of brickwork, even some concrete. It's gonna be expensive, guys. It's now February here in the woods, and as you can see, I've got some houses built. But that's about it. The main part of today's activity is going to be to actually create a little bit of a road here. Now, I'm not going to be responsible for putting down a concrete road, but I am going to be putting in a little bit of a curbing system right here. We got some curbs that I think aren't going to be too bad for me to be able to do, and since I'm not a major contractor, I'm going to go ahead and try it and see how it goes. We're going to do at least one side. And then I'm going to have somebody come in and start putting up some fencing and some gates and all kinds of crazy stuff. And here's house number 2. But before I meet the crew to start working on the concrete, I've got to actually take a few pieces up to the dealership, and we're going to trade them in on something new. I've had my eye on one of these right here for quite a while. A little bit better of an upgraded baler. This one's going to make just a little bit bigger bales. We've got the Krone Big Pack right here, or the New Holland. I'm not really sure which one I want yet. Don't really have more than about $15,000 to spend. And this auto stack right here, this is actually already mine because I took the old self-propelled bale collector that we had for the mini bales, and I went ahead and got rid of it, traded it in, and it was an even swap. And that old man keeps driving hard bargains. I went ahead and was able to trade in the other 2 pieces of equipment, and I decided on the Krona right here. I only had to spend $11,000 after the trade-in. So let's go ahead and get this thing hooked up and get it back to the farm. The grass field looks like it's ready to go ahead and get mowing. That's why I went ahead and made the decision here to get a different baler. Got the worker showed up here in a little bit, and then we'll be able to start making some big bales. Worker number 1 showed up, and they decided they were going to go ahead and start mowing the field here. I'm going to head over and see if I can't help out the crew because I just got a call saying they're ready. Well, apparently there was a little bit of a miscommunication. I just needed to be over there to tell them exactly what I want done, and they were going to go ahead and get started on it. Yeah, they don't need my help at all. So I'm heading back over to the farm now to see if I can help the worker take care of that grass field. I've got the tedder hooked up to the John Deere, but I think I'm going to have to wait a little while because the mower width is not as wide as the tedder width. And if I start going around, I'm just going to have to spend extra fuel doing like nothing. So I'm going to go and let them get a little bit farther ahead, and then I'll go ahead and jump in here and get started. I think the worker's far enough ahead now that I can go ahead and get started on this. You know, it's kind of weird being in a tractor helping out on the farm. Usually I'm running around doing all kinds of other stuff, but today I'm enjoying my time in the tractor. I think I'm going to let the worker go ahead and start doing a little bit of tedding here because I really want to try out that brand new baler. I went ahead and grabbed the tractor with the most horsepower to go ahead and pull this big Crota right here because I didn't know exactly how well the other tractor was going to do. Got the other worker right there going ahead and making a really good windrow for me. Thing is really nice and tidy. So it's not any problem at all. I don't think we're going to have any troubles here today with this brand new piece of equipment. You know, and I will say the one thing I like about this right off the bat is it's not putting down as many bales. I mean, these bales are quite a bit bigger. It seems like they're a lot more dense as well because there's hardly any bales out here. And by now I'd probably already have like 30 of the small ones. I'm pretty sure I just made 25 bales here in this field. That is a big difference than the little bitty baler. And this collector right here, it's actually a lot more smooth than the other one. I mean, the suspension on that thing was going out like 10 years ago, and this thing here just seems like a lot better solid piece of equipment. The only downside to it is that it only holds 14 bales, and I feel like this is about half as what the other one carried. But if they're bigger, less moving around, it's gonna be a win in the long run. I got all the bales put away, and I just got off the phone with the crew over taking care of all the curbing, and they said they're making pretty good progress, but there's still no need for me to show up. They are not hesitant to take my money though, so I'm gonna go ahead and go fishing and forget about all the money I'm spending over there. Hopefully all this rain doesn't mess up the concrete work. Looks like they put a test piece in for me. Yeah, I think that'll work. It's now March here in the woods, and that means that it's time to use a little John Deere to clean up some properties. The concrete crew I had in here yesterday went ahead and put in all of the gates and all of the curbing that you see here. What I'm going to do today is go ahead and use this John Deere excavator, the mini one here, and start taking out a lot of these bushes. The reason I'm using this little guy right here is because it's got a little bucket and it's going to be able to get in here and not make a big of a mess as the other land clearing pieces of equipment that I have. Don't need the big excavator, and the one that does all the mulching and everything, it really leaves a pretty big area of torn up ground. And we've got some really nice built houses already, and I'm just trying to get the property around it in a little bit better order. So I'm going to come in here and get rid of all the bushes and everything like that. And I've got another crew coming in here to go ahead and start putting in some fencing. I got a feeling they're going to start down on the other end and then kind of work their way this way. I was able to get everything cleared out here around the house, and now I've just got to go ahead and work my way down here next to the water and then over there towards the other property line over there. I'm going to go ahead and get these two really good and cleaned out now, and maybe come back a little bit later and spread a little bit more seed. And then I'm going to keep working my way on down. Hopefully the crew down there is going to be able to make their way down this way as well. And then we are going to meet somewhere in the middle, and I'll get to show you guys some new fences. So the crew just showed up, and they said they're actually going to start down on the other end where it's already cleared out. So my top priority now is going to be right here along the road, and then I'll go ahead and start working my way in. This is a pretty nice looking fence. I think it's going to provide a little bit of privacy and separation. We're going to run it all the way up and down the property lines as well. I don't know what else to do with all the bushes and everything that I'm taking out, so I'm just going to go ahead and pile them all right here. Took quite a while to be able to get all the way down to the other end and get everything cleared out. And in that time, the workers were actually able to get all the way to this gate right here. They said they had to run back and get some more materials, and I would believe it. They have been extremely busy. I have no idea how many people they actually have here working on this fence, but they've got all the way down here to the third property completely done. Both of these down over here have been separated off as well. We've got the fencing going all the way down to the water as close as we can because of safety reasons. We can't put the fence very close to the water. Got all of this done, all of that one over there. So it's starting to look really, really nice. While clearing out property number 3, I came across this log, so I went ahead and got the chainsaw out. I was able to get all these logs by myself, but for these bigger pieces, I'm definitely going to need to use the excavator. Hopefully this bad boy right here is big enough to handle it. Like they say, if it fits, it ships. I've got one last property here to clear off, and I got to do it kind of quick because there's some rain on the way, or at least I think so. Hopefully the crew is going to be able to get done with all of these fences. Earlier today, I had the worker modify the fertilizer spreader to accept seed. So that's what I'm going to use to spread a lot of seed here in these brand new pieces of property here. Got a lot of area that needs a little bit of seed because as I was taking things out, we just kind of left some spots. So we're going to go and spread the whole area here with some seed. Hopefully all these weeds and everything like this are going to die off, get everything mowed really nicely. And then I can start selling these houses because that concrete, it's going to be expensive. It's now April here in the woods, and that means that house number 3 is built. Yeah, let's go take a look at it. So what we have here is one of the prefab houses that went up literally in just a couple days. We went ahead and staged it here so a family could see kind of what it's going to look like if they bring all their own furniture. I mean, we could probably sell it with everything in here. We've got just a couple rooms here. I mean, it's not for a very big family, but it's a great house with a great view. The contractor I hired for the other 2 houses said that they should be done here next month. That means that I got to go ahead and start working on all of this concrete work right here. I'm not going to be able to do it myself, so I've got a crew coming this month to be able to get it done. But since I haven't sold any of these houses yet, I got to go ahead and start cutting down some trees to pay the guys. So I'm going to be hanging out in the woods today, cutting down a lot more trees and actually making another field back here in this additional area that I bought. Guys, remember I bought this little bit of an extra area here. I had the rock quarry that was part of it. And all back here, I'm going to make a brand new field. But the problem is I've got some rocks over there that I got to find out exactly where they're at. So what I'm doing now is I'm using the GPS tracker here in the print-off, and I'm just going around the property line, making a little bit of a track here so I can see exactly where all of this is going to be. That way I can know exactly which trees I want to take down, and I'm not having to kind of stumble around because I really want 2 fields back here. I don't think I want to turn this into one big mega field. I'm really thinking 2 is going to be the way to go so I can keep a few trees in the middle but still have enough room here to have 2 different crops. So looking here at the screen of my GPS tracker, I'm pretty sure I'm just going to go ahead and make 1 field. I mean, the outside area over here, there's a lot of rocks and a lot of hills and things. It isn't going to make it very nice. And I've got another plan for something that's going to happen right in this area. So yeah, why not just 1 more big field? So it's 8 o'clock and the workers should be getting here any minute. I'm going to go ahead and jump in the big harvester here and start taking down some trees because that's the best way I know of being able to make money to pay for all this concrete. I got a bunch of trees taken down. I think probably somewhere around 25 of them. And the worker over here, it's a new guy. He's trying to figure out exactly how to use this thing, and he's having a tough time. So we're going to try and get him a little bit more experience, but I got to get these things loaded up. Made a little bit over $60,000 on all the trees that we had already cut down. We got a little bit of a problem, though. The harvester, it busted a line. Yeah, it's just froze just like that. I can't do anything with it. I can't raise it up. I can't rotate it. I can turn it on and off, but that's about it. So we got the worker running over to the dealership, try and get a hose, and then we'll go ahead and get started on the rest of these trees. We got the rod to fix and quite a few more trees taken down. As you can see, got about $185,000 right now, but that's not going to last very long because every bit of the money that we just made on these trees, I got to go pay the man for the concrete. And it looks like these boys are making some pretty good progress here. Got the front blocked off so no traffic goes in there. Still looks kind of wet. They don't have the driveways done yet. They're going to go ahead and do these first and then focus on the driveways a little bit later. Hey, they are making some pretty good progress. I'm not sure where they're at. Maybe they're getting lunch. Yep, that's where they were, grabbing a bite to eat there at the diner. I'm going to head over here to the warehouse and see exactly how full this area is because I got a feeling that we're going to be bringing more logs over here instead of selling them all at the sawmill. We've got plenty of room in the warehouse, so it's time to go ahead and keep going on in this field right here. We got to get this thing made sooner rather than later because I really need to start bringing in another crop. That way I can take care of a brand new animal. I just dropped off 3 more loads of logs and we ended up with a little bit over $50,000 for all of it. And they said that was going to be the last one. So everything else from now on is going to be going over to the warehouse. And they're still doing pretty good. They just don't have any more capacity here for logs. Starting to get a little bit late, but that's not going to stop us. We are just about done here. Probably got about another 25% of this field that we need to go ahead and get cleared. We hit 100 trees though here already. And we already got the worker out there going ahead and clearing up all of the stumps. So we got a lot of stuff going on. We still got to thrash because I think we only have about another 2 hours of sunlight. We got to hurry. It's a little bit after 8 o'clock and this is the last load headed up to the warehouse. Thankfully we're done. We got all of the stumps out as well. So tomorrow we're going to be able to start working on that field. It's now May in the woods, and that means that it's time to do some harvesting. We've got the barley field and the corn field that need to get taken care of. But before I can do that, I'm going to do a little bit of plowing. Now this field here in the back, I'm trying to make as big as I can. That's why I'm getting as close as possible here to the road. I can't get too close. Otherwise, we're going to tear up some crop as the workers are going back and forth here to the rock quarry. Now, today is going to be a very, very busy day, but it's also an important day because I'm actually going to go ahead and sell the fourth house that we have over there in the community. I went ahead and sold the other three. So now we only have one house left. And I made a very big decision over there as well, but I got to wait till a little bit later to show you guys that. I'm getting closer to being done, but I really need to hurry because I'm supposed to be over at that new house at 7:30 to be able to meet them to see if they are going to buy it. They seem very, very interested, but I don't know the realtors over there. 7:30. I gotta hurry up. Well, nobody's here yet. Hopefully I didn't make anybody mad and they took off. Now, while I'm here, I might as well go ahead and show you guys around a little bit. Got a nice pre-built, prefabbed log cabin home right here. Beautiful chimney here on the front as well. We went ahead and staged the house like we did all the other ones. I've already put some stuff around it just to make it feel a little bit more inviting. We're only asking like 135,000 for this house. I don't think that's a bad deal considering all the property that you're getting here. I mean, it's a beautiful view and you've got some really nice neighbors as well. And we went a little bit crazy with this house here. Yeah, that's a swimming pool. I don't know if you're going to need it right here on the waterfront, but we thought it'd be a nice little touch. Got a little bit different feel here to this house. They showed up, wanted the house, and we made our 135,000. But I'm not going to get to keep it very long because I've got to go meet the contractor here to expand out this road. Now we're going around the back side of the property a little bit more. We're going to put a special house back there. And in total, it's going to cost me like $250,000. You know, every time I walk into this building, I spend a lot of money. Yeah, went ahead and paid both foremen for the jobs that they are going to get done here this month. Got a brand new house being built and the road that's actually going to be able to get us there. And I got the workers calling me. It's time to get back to the farm because they are ready to get started on this barley harvest. I went ahead and hooked up the Massey to the trailer because I've got to get back there and finish plowing that field up while the workers take care of this barley right here. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but I got a feeling the worker was texting or watching videos while on their phone and trying to dump the grain here. I got the plowing done, so now I can help focus on the harvest. As hard as I tried, I still left 3 logs out there in the field. We got it picked up, stored over here. I might have an idea for them here in a little bit. Had a little bit of an issue with the worker, so I went ahead and replaced them. What was the issue? Well, they couldn't get the tractor close enough to the auger arm. I really don't know why the other worker was having so much problems, but they're doing good on the baling. So good, in fact, they've caught up to the harvester. Now that the barley harvest is done, I've got to run over to the dealership and pick up a new header for the combine. It took a while and there was no haggling on the price on this thing right here. $95,000. I'm going to have to definitely harvest a lot more corn and a lot more sunflowers to be able to get this thing paid off. But I needed it because those are the next 2 crops we've got in the ground. After doing a bit of a changeover here on the harvester, we got it ready to go for the corn. This Capello header right here. This thing looks really, really nice. Super clean. I don't think it's going to last very long though. I'm going to go ahead and leave the worker over there in charge of the grain cart while I stay over here and work on all of these bales. I'm trying to make sure that this Massey is going to do it today. I don't know, we've been having a little bit of problems with it, and I just want to make sure that we're not going to have any big problems. I think they can handle the grain cart though. Yeah, good thing I was here in the Massey. It just shut off. It's a brick right now. I can't get it to fire up. I can't get it to do anything. It's still hooked up, and I got to figure out how I'm going to be able to unhook this and get this up to a dealership to be able to get some service work done on it. Yeah, I don't know if this is a good idea or not, but I'm going to go ahead and try and push the tractor up onto the flatbed. I just need somebody up in there to let me know if we're getting ready to go like crazy and falling off the edge. Or maybe I'll just have them stand out front. I don't want somebody in there to hold the steering wheel straight. Hey, there's a worker. I'll have them help. I mean, it kind of worked. We got it up here. It's not exactly the straightest, but I think I can strap it down and get it over to the dealership. The old man there at the dealership said that the service department would take a look at it and let me know what the total would be. I don't know how long it's going to take, so that means I got to get back over here and get the second tractor to work because we've still got a lot of stuff to do here today. All right, it's time to put the John Deere 51 and 15 to work. I need to go ahead and start putting lime on all of these fields that we're getting crops off right now, because then I'm going to have to cultivate and then pick up all the rock. So might as well do a job that I think the small tractor can handle. I mean, this cart is almost as big as the tractor. I ended up putting the first worker in the back field, going ahead and taking care of all of the lime. I've got the second worker going to make sure that we have enough lime. And now I'm going to go ahead and put this header right over here by the other one. And I'm just going to go ahead and put this back underneath here because I got a feeling there might be some bad weather rolling in soon. Worker 1 is now over here in the middle field, while worker 2 is back here cultivating up this field. There's quite a few rocks and things, so I want to go ahead and make sure that we get it as smooth as possible so the rock picker can pick it up, and then we're ready with a really nice seed bed. The worker asked me very kindly if I could go ahead and take care of this fencing that was around the edge here, so I did, and I don't need it anymore, so I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of the rest of this as well. So the worker gave me a call and asked if I could come take a look at the tractor. It says that it's not really pulling consistent. It's kind of jumpy. And I said, it can't be that bad, can it? And they said, yeah, boss, it is. So here I am. And yeah, it's not acting great. Now, I haven't been keeping up with the maintenance on this one either. And I got a feeling that I'm going to have to either get this thing serviced or get it replaced. Well, that took a lot longer than I had hoped for. It's now almost 4 o'clock here in the afternoon. I've decided that I'm going to go ahead and put a pause on working on the fields. And the reason is because I don't need the only nice horsepower tractor that I have to get a serious breakdown. So we're going to take this thing in and get it serviced as well. I called the old man at the dealership and he said, you know what? We can handle that for you pretty quick. But I've got another tractor that I think you'd be interested in. Go ahead and bring over your cultivator. Let's make a deal. And I told him that's all good, except that I don't really have a whole lot of extra money right now because I do have 200,000 in the bank, but 250 that is out of a loan. So I'm technically negative $50,000 right now until I sell another house, and then hopefully I can still build the other house that I want to. So I made some calls and found out that the seed production facility here in town is actually looking for some corn because they want to go ahead and get this new type of corn. They're going to go ahead and like treat it and do some crazy stuff to it. And then it's going to be ready for farmers to plant back here in the next planting season. So I'm going to run up a couple loads of corn here to this brand new facility, see how much I can make for it. So about $17,000 for the first load there. Now the second one, I don't think it's going to have as much in it. That's going to be pretty good to maybe get somewhere around 30K for all this corn. You want to talk about a bad day for a farmer? Having 2 of your tractors at the dealership for service on the same day. Hopefully the Massey's going to get fixed. I really enjoy this tractor. The 7S180 is a great one. This bad boy right here, I mean, I love the power. We just need a little bit more. I wonder if the old man was referring to one of these 2 tractors right here. It's now June here on the farm, and y'all, I've been incredibly busy wheeling and dealing, upgrading my fleet of equipment. You can see right here, I've got a Case IH 100. Yes, we replaced the John Deere with a good old Case. Massey Ferguson 7S180 is back from the shop, and so is the Case 8950. Now together the maintenance on these was about $16,000. Now I know that I didn't exactly need the Case right here, but it's going to be a great tractor for all of my animal needs or anything where I need to put some fertilizer down on the fields. And yep, the little John Deere, it's gone. It was worth too much money, got rid of it, and we actually bought a new tractor that I'm getting ready to go pick up. Now, the old man here at the dealership, he takes quite a while to service your vehicles, and in that amount of time, I was able to find this combo right here. Found a couple of other pieces of equipment as well. A little bit light on money, but we're going to go and get the fields done, and then I've got a plan on how we can make a little bit more. Yeah, this is a great setup. 12 miles an hour when I ain't got anything else going on. It's in a perfectly straight line. Around the corners, it's maybe dipping down to around 5, but I mean, that's fine. It's super wide, and we are going to be able to get these fields knocked out in no time at all. Now, I knew we were going to be having a busy day today, so I went ahead and asked the workers to show up a little bit early. We got one worker over there in the field taking care of a plowing job, and then we've got the other one back taking care of all the rocks. I hope I missed this big rock right here. Nope. Ooh, hopefully I didn't break that. I guess if it fits, then it ships, right? We got the perfect width cultivator here. I'm not going to have to fold this thing up at all. I do have one little problem I got to take care of. The worker, they're missing spots. All right, so I believe we got them straightened out. They understand why they need to be getting all the way over as far as they can and overlap just a little bit more. Yeah, now it's looking better. Still not perfect. I've got worker 1 out there taking care of the cultivating in that field, and worker 2 is going to be in the rock picker right here. What I'm going to do now is go ahead and unload the brand new Case, and I'm going to go ahead and take this flatbed and go make some money. Well, kind of looks like the town got a little bit of inspiration from my neighborhood down there, and they're going to start putting in some real roads. It's been a couple months since I've sold any logs, so I might as well run in here and see if these guys are interested. Oh yeah, they definitely were. They said go ahead and bring a couple more loads while you're at it. And it was a really good idea taking all those logs over there because we made a really good amount of money. Problem is, now it's time for me to go talk to the banker. Well, at least the banker's happy. Gave him the $250,000 that we borrowed before. Now I gotta go make a little bit more because house number 5, yeah, it's ready to be sold. Well, that's the last of the original 5 houses sold. Now I just gotta sell one over there. And you might be wondering exactly where is over there. Well, it's the extension that we were creating a few months ago, whenever I started to go on the other side of the very first house that we built. And I decided that, we were going to put a pause on that until I had a little bit more money. Now we've got plenty of money because of all of these awesome houses that we've sold all the way over here. We've got all the roads and everything completely done as well. So now it's time to put in one last house over there, number 6. And to do that, I got to go talk to the contractor. Now, this guy's been really busy all around at the area. I'm not the only one that he's building houses for. We also had the crew come in here and level out this road, put in a really nice guardrail as well, and extend out the driveway here all the way up here to where this house is going to be. As you can see, the area is already leveled off really well, and he's going to be bringing in materials very, very soon. This house will be completed in the month of July. I'm going to go talk to him about one more project that I need him to get done at the exact same time. I really am starting to not like that place. Just gave the contractor another $125,000 to build another house. Yeah, we're building house number 7. And you might be wondering why I'm so excited for the new house. Well, it's because it's for me. And it's going to be back here in some of my extra property. I can't really put a farm or anything or a field or anything back here. So I'm going to build a house. Now it's time to go ahead and get some crops in the ground. We're going to be putting oats back here. We're going to be putting our sorghum here. And then up front, we're going to be putting our barley. And I asked the other worker to go ahead and dump the rocks right here because this is where my driveway is going to be at to go back here to my new house. And I mean, just look at this view. Every morning, I'm going to look out my window and see this awesome field right here. And maybe I'll even get to see this one over here as well. Now that we got most of the field work done and we only need to put a few more seeds in the ground, I'm going to go ahead and trade in this mower right here for a brand new piece of equipment I just bought. And here it is, ladies and gentlemen, a brand new batwing mower. This is the HX20. It's going to be a little bit wider and it's going to be a little bit better of a finished cut because we're going to start making some silage. I've only been using it a couple minutes and I can already tell that this thing is a lot better than the other option that we had. Just so wide, so much wider. I'm going to be able to get this done in half the amount of time because it's really important because I've actually got to bale this up instead of putting it into a bunker silo. I decided it was time to put the Luxem to the test. We're out here windrowing all of this grass. We've got the other worker out there mowing. They're doing a fantastic job. This thing is making absolutely perfect rows right here. It's going to be so easy to bale up. Yep, the Luxem handled that pretty good. The windrower wasn't really an issue. It kept trying to bounce between 9 and 10 miles an hour, but I think that's totally fine. It was probably losing a little bit of traction because of the small wheels. Well, the reason we have those is so whenever it's time to actually do our fertilizing, they won't tear up the crops. It's so good to have this massey bag. Taking this thing here with the baler, I am very, very excited to start making some bales here. But there is one little problem, though. I gotta find that bale wrapper that I ordered not too long ago. Well, I'm not done baling yet, and the worker over here decided that they needed to go ahead and switch fields. Yeah, they got done with all of the oats there in the backfield, and now we're putting in a little bit of sorghum here in this field. Problem is, I gotta go get some more seeds. I'm all loaded up and ready to go now, and it looks like the town hasn't got around to this end of the area for these curves yet, and it makes this a little bit dangerous. I'm back in the baler now, and there's not a whole lot more here to get done. Got a worker on their way over to pick up that bale wrapper for me. We're going to get to show you guys exactly what that thing is all about. I've never used one before. This ought to be interesting. I'm going to go ahead and give the Luxem here another test, and that's here for wrapping these bales. It was pretty easy. It's kind of self-explanatory. You just got to hit the right button at the right time. What you're going to do is make sure that the bale is on the right-hand side, and it's pretty well lined up there with the grabber, the thing that's actually going to roll them up or wrap it up for you. You just pull forward until you're right over it. Boom, there you go. It's going to grab it after you hit your buttons. It's going to start doing its thing. And then whenever it gets done, I'm just going to press a button. It's going to drop it down, and then I'll get to go on to the next one. You know, this is another perfect job for this little track right here. I also figured out that if I drive up to the next one, then it doesn't take as long for me to get this field done because I can be driving while I'm doing a little bit of wrapping. And that's the last one that needed wrapped. Now it's time to go ahead and collect all these and then get them stored and let them ferment. Got the worker putting in the barley here onto the last field. We are just about done for the month, but not before I pick up all these bales. I've got to be a little bit more careful with these things because they are wrapped. I got to make sure that I'm not going to puncture them because if I do, then the silage isn't exactly going to turn into silage. Load number 1 picked up without any problems. Now I just got to put them into the barn without breaking these seals. Only 12 more left to pick up. That means we have 26 silage bales. That's a little bit more than I was expecting, but I'm not going to be complaining about that. Cows, you're going to be pretty happy to have this silage. While the worker finishes up the barley field, I'm going to go ahead and use this rented roller right here to try and help get a little bit better yield out of all of our crops. So I've been told that these rollers are really going to help out, get these seeds down in the ground, get everything covered up really nice and even. That way the germination process can happen a little bit better and hopefully get a few more seeds that actually turn into sprouts whenever the germination actually happens. I really don't have a great place to store all of my equipment now that we've got so much, but I think it's going to be solved here in the next month because thinking about going ahead and putting a little bit of a flat area right here, maybe a building or so, because while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and put another building over here too. Yeah, guys, we're going to be expanding out, actually putting in 2 buildings to help take care of some future cows. It's now July here in the woods, and I'm standing in my brand new house admiring the awesome view that I told you guys about. Now, this thing just got done, and I don't even have any real furniture in here except for my bed up there in the loft. No TV, no couch. I mean, that's okay. I'm going to keep busy today. I am very thankful that the contractor was able to get this house put up because it's now going to enable me to kind of get away a little bit and enjoy the woods. I really enjoy nature and being out here kind of by myself a little bit more, not right next to the farm. It's going to be really, really nice. But even though I've got this beautiful house up here, I'm still close enough to the farm that I'm going to be able to come down here in case anything happens or I just want to get out there and work on something. And speaking of working on stuff, we've got a sunflower harvest here that we are going to have to take care of today. I can't do that until the workers get here. I've got a surprise for them. I'm going to go and let them stay here in the trailer. I need the flatbed for something back at the farm, so I figured I might as well bring a load of logs over here because the owner said, hey man, if you got some more of them logs, go ahead and bring them on over. And I'm not going to pass up about $33,000 profit either. You know, and I got to thinking this morning that it has been 24 months since I moved into this area and started rebuilding it. And we continue to have new businesses show up every single month. And one of my new favorite people to the area is Melinda. She actually works over at the spinnery. She kept asking me, when are you going to bring some more wool? I'm going to bring a lot. Don't worry, Melinda. I've got all the wool loaded up to take over to the spinnery. Hopefully Melinda's going to be happy. I've also got the skid steer on here as well because I need to get another tool attachment for this thing to go with that building right there. And for those of you that didn't get a good look at it, that's actually a brand new cattle barn. After we sold the 6th house last month, I decided to go ahead and put up the building. And then I used the last little bit of profits that I had to build a TMR station as well so that I'm not going to have to get a mixer. It's all going to be done inside of a building. Not in debt yet, but we're getting pretty close. We're getting real close. I've got a little bit over $144,000 now, and that should be plenty enough to get this extra attachment that I need here for the skid steer. And the workers called me. They're ready to get started on the sunflowers. I kind of feel like this is one of those little cars on a big trailer. No, it's just a bale spike right here. I didn't have any other way to load it up here though, so I went ahead and grabbed the skid steer, kind of did a little switcheroo, loaded it up. We're going to take it back to the farm. It's going to come in real handy here real soon. But before we can use it to load up all of our bales into the brand new TMR mixer, we've got to get the harvester out and get it set up for the sunflowers. I'm going to go ahead and cut around the outside here and across to this area where the worker, I'm pretty sure they were on their cell phone, drove over the crop. Now what I'm doing is just setting the all the equipment, make sure that we get our calibrations correct and everything like that. That way, whenever the workers take over here in the middle, we are going to be good to go. Or maybe I'm just going to do the whole field. You know what? Who am I kidding? I got to help all these other workers get all the other jobs done here today. So we've got worker 1 and 2 taking care of the sunflowers, and worker 3 is now going to be doing a little bit of fertilizing. We've got 4 fields that we need to fertilize here today out of the 5. And Got some weeds too we got to take care of here in this field. You know, and I figured that it's going to be a little bit easier just to drive this contraption over to the store than it is to try and get out the skid steer and the trailer and the truck and all that. So we're just going to run over and get a little bit of a refill on this, and then we should be good here for the rest of the year. You know, I'm kind of surprised that the old machine here actually made it over there and back. I picked up 500 gallons of herbicide, and now I'm ready to go ahead and start spraying this field right here. Lots of weeds in here, but I don't think they're going to be a match for the chemicals we have in this machine today. I decided to go ahead and put another worker out there in the field taking care of the herbicide while I come over here and work the grain cart a little bit, because I don't get to do that very often. And I also can bounce between that and helping the worker back there with the fertilizer. They're done again, apparently, so it's time to go ahead and get them moved up here to this other field. I don't think it's going to be an issue. That worker appears that they are just about done here with the herbicide. Like I said, we've still got one, and then the grass field, 2 more fields to put fertilizer down. Just got the worker topped off with fertilizer, and they're going to go ahead and start here on the sorghum field. And this stuff, it's growing really, really good. I wish we'd have taken care of the weeds a little bit sooner, but I still think we're going to get an all right yield. You know, sometimes when you don't have any other tractors, you got to get your biggest medium tractor out and do a little bit of liming. Yeah, that's what's happening now. We've got the Massey right here. I'm going to take this one into town and sell all these sunflower seeds because I don't need them for anything here on the farm. And I figure I might as well take them into town and maybe let some baseball teams enjoy a little bit of a summer treat. Or we're going to turn this into some new hybrid type seeds. I don't know exactly what's going to happen. Whoever's got the best price, that's who we're going to sell it to. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take this here to the sweet shop. Now, I know it says sweet shop, but they also sell sunflower seeds. And then baseball players must really love their sunflower seeds because for this trailer full, I got like $45,000. All this white here on the ground got me thinking that maybe I should go ahead and plant a little bit of cotton. Now, I know it's not a typical crop for me, but it is going to be able to help out the spinnery. And I think we can go ahead and just diversify even more. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? I have to buy a really expensive harvester? You know, it's pretty cool just being over here watching the workers. I mean, I'm pretty sure these are the ones we're going to have in the trailer. These are my 2 trusted left and right hand workers. We're not going to have any problems with them at all. They're not going to tear up the place, anything. They're going to help grow this out because I'm going to start paying them a little bit better if they're here helping out all the time. I mean, I'm already going to be giving them a free place to stay, but they're going to be able to be here all the time to help take care of the animals, help grow this farm out even more. Might as well treat them really, really good and give them a little bit more money. And just like that, the worker is back on their way, went ahead and filled up the seed and the fertilizer. I believe we're going to have enough here to get through this harvest. Probably even going to have a little bit left over for the next field. Yep, that's right, the next field. I'm planning on buying some property over that way. Once we get a little bit more here in the bank, probably going to be close to a couple $100,000. The first thing I got to do is go get some cattle because I would really like them to get delivered today if possible. I didn't realize how expensive cattle were. I got 45 female Holsteins for about $95,000. Y'all, I just got a call from the owners of the 6th house over here, the one that just got built. He asked me to stop in. Got a surprise for me. And this place sure does seem busy today. It kind of looks like everybody from the neighborhood is here. Yeah, this is like everybody that I just sold a house to. And this owner has got a sweet ride over here. I better get inside and see what's going on. Y'all, I was right and I was wrong about this K50. This thing is definitely a sweet ride. It like tops out at like 100 miles an hour. Got a lot of custom work put into it. I love the colors. That's a good thing because it's mine. Yeah, all of the business owners and all of the people that bought houses, they all pitched in together. They bought me a truck, y'all. But before I can enjoy this thing, still got some farming to do. After I got done over at the animal dealer, I went ahead and called the guys and said, hey, why don't you go and get all those small bales out because I just worked a deal. We have over 400 small bales sitting right here. We're going to trade these out for a little bit of silage because our silage isn't quite ready yet. So we're going to have some bales delivered and then they're going to take this because I don't need these small bales anymore. Well, the crew showed up and dropped off the silage bales, but they kind of left them stacked a little bit tall, and the skid steer here, it's only going to go halfway. Wish me luck. Well, I mean, that kind of worked out. I didn't hurt myself, and the bales are actually going to be a little bit easier to grab now. I better hurry and get this TMR mixed up because the cows got delivered and I'm not anywhere ready for it. But this is our mixing facility right here. Putting the bales in, they're going to do their mix it up thing, and it's going to come out the other side. And I've also decided that instead of taking these bales one at a time, I'm going to go and use the skid steer and load them up here on the flatbed. Should be a little bit easier to get them over there all at one time. Oh yeah, this is definitely making things easier. Now to load up a few more hay bales and a little bit of straw, and then the mixture's going to be just right. I'm going to go ahead and use all of the straw here that we've got in storage because I forgot that I need some for bedding. Yeah, I probably should have kept some of those 400 small bales. I've got the TMR being mixed up. Now it's time to go ahead and take care of these cows a little bit more. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of straw here into the husbandry. That way they have a nice place to rest at. Hopefully it's not going to take all this. I know I said earlier that it might, but a lot of straw. I'm really hoping it doesn't. And these bales right here are pretty difficult to get cut up and put there into the pen. I don't know what I'm going to do. What is that commotion? I didn't order that. Apparently, this is how you're supposed to put straw into an animal pen. I had no idea that these things even existed. Oh, yeah. Hopefully, they don't mind getting a little bit of straw dumped on them right there. But this is going to make it really, really quick work out of spreading out all this straw. I wasn't sure if I was going to like this thing or not, but I definitely do. So I went ahead and paid the old man at the dealership. I've only got $25,000 now. Hopefully nothing else needs to be purchased to get this animal husbandry off the ground. And yeah, we still got a bunch of bales too. So I'm going to go and throw them back into storage. And I'm kind of thinking it might not be a bad idea to build a bale storage building back in here. That way I could go ahead and put the rest of the equipment inside that bigger barn up there. Now that all the bales are put away and so is the equipment, I'm going to go ahead and fill up the animal husbandry here with just a little bit of food. They look like they're enjoying it quite a bit. I can't wait to start getting a little bit of milk out of this facility. That way we can take it into the dairy, start making some cheese, start making all kinds of different things there in the town. Because it's just one more way that we're going to be able to help keep this community growing and thriving. Now that the neighborhood's built, the fields are tended to, and the animals fed, time for me to go fishing and plan out the next 12 months here in the woods. Well, that's going to be it for today, everybody. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and give it a like if you would. Make sure to hit subscribe and turn on your notifications to keep up to date on my future videos. While you're waiting on those future videos, go and check out one of these two right here. Have a great day, night, evening, everybody. Until next time, this is Driver 53 signing off.